we are here live at Blaine High School for a little NWSC softball this afternoon here on North Metro TV. And the first batter of the game for the Centennial Cougars, Sid Chipetta, grounds out to the second base, Hendrickson. Hendrickson to Way, 4-3 on the putout to start things. Centennial comes to town ranked 2 in the state, a 13-1 record, 10-0 in conference play. Blaine not too shabby themselves, 8-6 on the season, 6-4 in conference play. They're starting freshman Emma Cochran on the bump today. Comes in with a record of 1-1 on the season and a 3.60 ERA in her first season. Wearing number 34, Centennial will send Bryn Ruberg to the plate, the designated player, hitting second in the order for Rick Thomas's Cougars this afternoon, and she takes the second pitch high to run the count to 2-0. So Cochran with the count 2-0, rocks and fires, and it's taken wide to run it to 3-0. Ruberg, a junior, normally a catcher, playing designated player today, and she takes a called strike on the inside corner. Centennial's only loss of the season was 5-1 to Delano. Powerhouse in their own right. Otherwise, they are perfect this year. The 3-1 is ripped down the third base line, but foul. So Cochran has battled back to run the count full. Abby Losi to follow for Centennial. Losi hitting nearly 500 on the season. Go over her impressive numbers. Ruberg with a slightly open stance, and she hits a high pitch, fouls it off to the right to stay alive. That ball rolls underneath our truck. Oh, it just hit us. It just hit our truck, in fact, I'm being informed, as Ruberg takes the pitch low, and she is aboard the first base runner of the game for the Cougars.
Center fielder, number 4.
So after she dented the North Metro television truck, she draws the walk, and that brings up Abby Losi, 469 on the season, a couple home runs, 14 RBI, and 7 steals for the senior outfielder, headed to play at Minot State in North Dakota next season. And she takes a first pitch for a called strike. Cougars, as we said, the number 2 ranked team in the Star Tribune Metro poll. Losi on the 1-0. Takes high and wide to even the count at 1 apiece. Losi checks that wristband that all the Cougars wear. Rick Thomas, the manager, down at third base, swings through that one for strike number 2. Very modern way of communicating the signs via wristband. Cochran with the 1-2 delivery, and that's taken high to even the count at 2-2. Defensive alignment for Blaine. They'll have Cochran and Schoenrock as the battery. Jade Bryant, Studer, Hendrickson, and Way left to right on the infield. Bryant, Peterson, and Terry left to right on the outfield. And Losi, after that bobble at short, is going to beat that out. So Centennial will have runners at first and second. Score that one in air on the shortstop.
Third baseman, number 20, Ella Fiddler.
And Haley Studer bobbled it, thinking about 2, and ultimately committed the error. So E6 brings up Ella Fiddler, wearing number 20. She takes a pitch inside. Runners at first and second for the Cougars. Ella Fiddler, a .455 average, 2 home runs, 11 RBIs, and 3 steals. So very similar numbers to Abby Losi, hitting in the cleanup spot. Turns and bunts that one in front. Catcher comes out, Schoenrock throws to first, and she is safe. So the bases are now loaded for the Centennial Cougars after Ella Fiddler gets on via the bunt single. And it was a decent defensive play by Allie Schoenrock, the senior catcher, but her throw was low. And a good job by Fiddler to beat it out. She gets off the plate quickly, but then she kind of bounced the throw in there, and Fiddler would have beaten it anyway. So that brings up Maddie Ringen, another senior, wearing number 17, the first baseman. Ringen bound for Northern Iowa Community College next season to play her softball. Bases loaded, top of the first, one out, the count 1-1. The pitch swung on and missed. Ruberg at third, Losey at second, Fiddler at first in this first inning. The 0-2, and she hits it, a towering pop fly. Coming in is Bryant. She'll snag it near the edge of the infield, and none of the runners will advance. Good catch there by Maddie Bryant, a sophomore left fielder.
Pitcher number 21, Helen Craig.
So this brings up the pitcher, Helen Craig. Going to play at Division II Augustana in South Dakota next season. Craig stands in with the bases loaded and 2 outs. And that pitch is taken for a ball. Big spot faced by Cochran right here. Early in the game, certainly don't want to fall behind. Open stance, and that pitch is back through the box. It'll drive in 2. Second runner comes in to score. Losey slides in, and the Cougars have a 2-0 lead here in the top of the first. Big 2-out, 2 RBI base hit by Helen Craig.
Shortstop number 6, Alexa Just.
Helene Craig right back through the middle, past Cochran, in between the second baseman and the shortstop. And now Rick Thomas going to consult with the home plate umpire as Alexa Just steps to the plate. Runners at first and second after that 2 RBI base hit by Craig. Drove in Ruberg and Losey. Fiddler stands at second, Craig at first. 2 outs and 2 on. Pinch runner in the game is Alyssa Schumacher, coming in to run for Craig. A lot of chatter coming from the Centennial dugout as the shortstop Alexa Just takes a called strike on the inside corner. Even that blue bat, she takes high and outside to even a count at a ball and a strike. Definitely getting cooler as the hours progress, and some wind blowing in as well. So definitely a pitcher's day as Cochran's rise ball is high for a ball. Alexa Just with the count in her favor at 2-1. Takes that for a called strike over the middle. Centennial with a couple runs in after a big 2-out, 2-run base hit by Helene Craig. The 2-2, and Just fouls it off to the right, thankfully short of our truck. Decent crowd on hand, but yeah, it's overcast and just continues to get more blustery. The 2-2 pitch, high to run the count full. Centennial has not elected to run, be active on the base paths as Blaine continues to shift. Big gap in between the shortstop and the second baseman here in the middle of the diamond. The 3-2 is taken high and outside, so Alexa Just gets on with the second walk of the inning, and the bases are once again loaded for the Cougars. Brings up Adie Thomas, the coach's daughter.
Second baseman number 32.
Wearing number 32 and playing second base today. The lone underclassman on the roster for Centennial, just a sophomore. That pitch is taken outside, so Cochran really wants to limit the damage here. Emma Hopkins, the catcher, waiting on deck. All right-handed bats thus far to face Cochran, who winds and fires. And it's hit back underneath the second baseman's glove, and 2 runs are going to score for Centennial. Throw to third is late. And the Cougars, with a couple of clutch 2-out, 2 RBI singles, have a 4-0 lead here in the top of the first. And they've still got runners on the corners. That one just driven underneath the glove of Hendrickson, who kind of dove over the top of it, and it allowed Fiddler and Craig to race home. And there's still runners on the corners, just moved to third, but what a big hit for A.D. Thomas. And now that forces a mound visit from Michelle Butkus. Emma Hopkins, the catcher, as you see Rick Thomas consulting with his players. Both coaches trying to organize things. A.D. Thomas at first, Alexa Just at third, and Emma Hopkins at the plate. Wearing number 5, the catcher. Hopkins, 316 on the season with a couple steals. A lot of 300-plus hitters on this Centennial roster. Cochran's pitch is taken over the middle for a called strike. You see Dockendorf waiting on deck. That pitch a little bit high as Adriana Thomas takes second. So again, runners in scoring position. 2 on, 2 out. A 4-0 lead for Centennial. The 2-1 to Hopkins. Off the bat to Hendrickson. She goes over to first to end the inning. But Centennial with 2 out, 2 RBI singles has a 4-0 lead as we head to the bottom of the first here on North Metro TV.
In order for us to continue participating in athletics and activities,
we need to work together.
Wash your hands often, especially when you're in public areas.
If you're sick, stay home.
Stay at least 6 feet away from other people and do not hang out in groups.
Cover your nose and mouth with a mask or use a cloth face covering.
Help keep us in the game.
Please practice health and safety protocols so we can keep doing what we love.
mask up, Rebels.
Tornadoes.
Cardinals. Bengals.
Huskies. Mask up and Oka Henderson.
Centennial scores 4 runs on 4 hits in that first inning. Couple walks thrown in there as well, and the Cougars have a 4-0 lead after their first at-bats. First time in the field for them, and they will send their best in pitcher Helene Craig to the mound. 4-0 on the season, a 1.40 ERA, and 58 strikeouts for the Augustana-bound starting pitcher. Not bad with the plate either. As you see, 520 as a hitter with a couple home runs and 13 RBIs. Make that 15 after her 2 RBI single in the first. As the outfield congregates, and in that outfield, it'll be Ciapetta, Losi, and Dockendorf, left to right. And then Fiddler,
Bottom of the first inning.
Just,
Center fielder number 2, Jordan Peterson.
Thomas, and Ringen. And then the battery of Craig and Hopkins as Blaine trying to sort itself out. Jade Bryant, one of the big hitters for this Blaine team. But they'll have Jordan Peterson start things off. 500 hitter, Jordan Peterson, batting from the left side. The first pitch is a ball inside. Peterson, very good leadoff hitter, one of the best in the state, in fact. So she hopes to get aboard. It'll be Schoenrock, Maddie Bryant, and Caitlin Way to follow if she does. She pulls that bat back to run the count to 2-0. The wind really starting to pick up here in Blaine. Cochran, or rather Craig, wants to run through the signs once more. Her 2-0 delivery is bounced in there, and Peterson is quickly ahead in the count, 3-0. Alexa just comes over for a word of encouragement. Infield in, expecting the bunt. Instead, that's pumped over for a strike from Craig. About half the Blaine Bengals roster are seniors. The 3-1 delivery to Peterson. She fans on that offering to run the count full. So you see Michelle Butkus down at third. The 3-2 is swung on and missed for strike three. The 59th strikeout of the season as Peterson goes down after being ahead in the count, 3-0. Credit to Craig to come all the way back from 3-0 to strike out Jordan Peterson. Kind of a emergency hack at that one. Allie Schoenrock, the catcher, steps in now, and she takes that first delivery inside for a ball. Open stance, hitting from the right side. So you can see a pretty decent crowd on hand. Some people sitting down the right field line as well. Craig's delivery is fouled straight back. And quickly, it's 1-1. Schoenrock, one of the few players that doesn't wear batting gloves. Good chatter from the Blaine dugout as that one is dropped by the catcher, but a called strike nonetheless. So Craig ahead in the count, 1-2. Blaine trying to get some base runners aboard after they gave up 4 in the top of the first. The pitch, high and fouled, popped to the right side, and that'll go drop harmlessly behind the Centennial dugout. Careful with our camera folks. One out in center field, a couple on each of the dugouts here. Count remains 1-2 on Allie Schoenrock. The pitch. Schoenrock watches it go high and wide. So the catcher putting up a battle here. Left fielder Maddie Bryant to follow. And delivery is into the catcher's mitt, so it goes down officially as a strikeout. And Helene Craig has found the first two Blaine Bengals she's faced this afternoon.
Left fielder number 28, Maddie Bryant.
Yeah, she just swung through that one. Did get a piece of it, but ultimately held on to by the catcher, Emma Hopkins. So that brings up Maddie Bryan. 16 walks on the season and 16 steals, so she will take her base on balls, the sophomore left fielder. Bryant takes low, good eye, very discerning. Trying to get aboard for Caitlin Way, who would be next. The 2-0, that's across for a strike. You can see the wind gusting. Thomas sitting on that bucket in the dugout. That one's taken high and wide, and again, the count is in the advantage of a Blaine Bengal. Maddie Bryant's run it to 3-1. Craig trying to come back and retire the side in order. Right back to her. Nice play. She knocks it down over to first to retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. We head to the second inning. Centennial with a 4-0 lead over Blaine.
Hey world, I have a quick message. It's about safe driving. All right, let's go. Anytime you're driving, have the seatbelt buckled tight. Both hands on the wheel and your phone out of sight. When not in your hand trying to text somebody back. Because if you do, your car might get smacked. The moral of the story, just put your phone down. The people on the road will stay safe and sound. Put your phone down, put your phone down. People on the road will stay safe and sound. Yeah.
Top of the second inning here in Blaine. Centennial had to feel great about how that first inning went, and it'll be the leadoff hitter, Sid Chiappetta, who led off the game by grounding out to second base. But Centennial, thanks to a couple walks, an error, and 3 singles, would go on to score 4 in the first. And Emma Cochran certainly hoping for a much smoother inning in this second frame. Counts 1-1 on the Centennial leadoff hitter. Junior playing left field this afternoon. Down or to shortstop, over to first, and Chiappetta is retired. Nice play right there by Studer in the hole to get it over to Way in time. 6-3 on the putout. That brings up Bryn Ruberg, the designated player who walked in her first plate appearance and then came around to score. Cochran bounces it in there. Good block by Schoenrock, though there were no runners on base, certainly showing very excellent technique. Schoenrock, a senior captain for this Blaine team, puts down the signal, and that's bounced again to short. Studer over to first, low throw dug out of the dirt, and the second batter is retired. 6-3. First 2 hitters in the inning retired 6-3 each. Abby Losey comes to the plate. She reached on an error on Studer in the first inning and then came around to score as well on the base hit by Helene Craig. And first pitch swinging, lines it into right field. The throw to first will not be in time. That's certainly something that's unique in softball. Nice idea by Terry, but not quick enough to get Losey. No, Abby Losey, who gets on base roughly half the time she's at the plate, is aboard here with 2 outs. Just a line 1-bounce shot to Terry. 1 on, 2 outs, 7 steals to Losey's credit, so certainly something to keep an eye on. Ella Fiddler singled in her first plate appearance. And Cochran delivers high, and sure enough, Losey swipes a bag. Stolen base for Abby Losey. So now 2 out, runner on second. Centennial with a 4-0 lead. Schoenrock requesting a brush of the plate. Losi in scoring position now for the Centennial Cougars with the cleanup hitter Fiddler at the plate. 11 RBIs on the season for her. That pitch taken at the knees on the inside corner for a strike. 2-1 the count. Nice rise ball, just kind of dropped in at the knees. That delivery on the outside corner to even the count at 2 apiece. The 2-2 bounced right back to the pitcher. Cochran takes care of it to end the inning. A hit, 1 left, no errors and no runs. We head to the bottom of the second inning. Centennial with a 4-0 lead here on North Metro TV.
Wash your hands. Scrub them while you sing the song. Wash. Rub your hands and fingers and the places in between. Using soap and water makes your hands so clean. Wash your hands. Great job, you're almost done. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, now dry.
Wash your hands for 20 seconds, just like Elmo.
Middle of the second inning. Smiles all around for the Centennial Cougars thus far as their pitcher goes to work in the second. Outfield didn't have to do too much in the first. 2 strikeouts and a bounce back to the pitcher. As you can see the blankets there, it's definitely a little chillier. At one point it was in the 70s and sunny this afternoon, but that's gone away. Eileen Craig goes back to work for Centennial as Caitlin Way, the right fielder, steps into the box to start the inning for Blaine. Bengals looking for base runners after they were retired in order in the bottom of the first. And they will get their first base runner on a first pitch swing from Caitlin Way, who drives it past the shortstop to lead off the second. It'll bring up Jade Bryant. Beg your pardon, Haley Studer next up. Swung on and missed at the first pitch. Studer, 304 on the season, 3 homers, 14 RBI for the senior shortstop. (21-21), and Studer fouls it off to the right side. Cougar defenders give chase, but that's well into the crowd. Caitlin Way on first. Studer's been very involved defensively in the early going. She's in the hole 0-2 here, and the pitch is outside. Jade Bryant will be next. The pitch is outside. It gets past Thomas to the backstop, and that will allow Way to move up to second. Way came into the game .476 with a couple homers and 16 RBI. Certainly some of the big hitters for Blaine in this inning. Pitch is taken inside. They'll run the count full to 3-2. Runner in scoring position for the Bengals. 3-2 the count. Eileen Craig could certainly use a strikeout right here. Winds and fires, and it's wrapped on the ground to first. Step on first, go to third, and not in time to complete the double play. But a nice play by Ringen to field her position and step on the bag. And for Studer, that basically acts as a sacrifice.
Third baseman, number 7.
So a ground out to 3, unassisted for the first out. And that'll bring up Jade Bryant. Playing third base today. And that gets all the way to the backstop. It pops up. Thomas grabs it. It's a kind of a fortuitous bounce right back to the catcher. One on, one out. Bryant trying to drive in the runner from third, and she fouls that off. Bryant, 295 on the season, leads the team in home runs with 4, 26 RBIs as well. So the best in terms of run production, the best player on this Blaine squad. Certainly who you want at the dish. Hitting in the 6th spot today. The 1-1 pitch. And that is fouled off the screen in front of the Centennial dugout. Craig ahead in the count, 1-2. Bryant hits it on the ground toward her own dugout now, staying alive. Putting in a good at bat here, and an important one with 1 out and 1 on. Trying to drive in that run from third via a ground out or a sacrifice fly or a hit. Craig rocks and fires and misses wide. Annika Hendrickson waits on deck for the Bengals. The 2-2. That's taken wide as well, so Craig trying to hit that outside corner, but Jade Bryant has worked the count full. Fouled off a couple pitches. The 3-2 on the ground to first. And it's foul by the time Ringen picks it up. The run would have scored, but Ringen grabbed it in foul territory. I think she might have wanted to pick it up and just tag the runner, but there's Michelle Butkus at third base. She knows this is a big spot with her team already down 4-0 here in the bottom of the second. The 3-2 delivery. Swung on, but Hopkins lost it, goes to the backstop, and it allows the runner to reach. So Jade Bryant strikes out swinging, but able to reach first based on the drop third strike.
Second baseman, number 6, Annika Hendrickson.
As you see here, it was an inside pitch, kind of tied up Bryant, but ultimately ticked off the glove of Hopkins, went all the way to the backstop, and that allowed Bryant to reach. So to bring up Annika Hendrickson, the second base, playing second base this afternoon. She turns and squares to bunt, pulls it back as that pitch is taken wide. And now they've got Jade Bryant hung up in a rundown. And you tag her out, or we'll see if she gets back to first. The umpires, and they're going to say they threw her out at third base. And now the Blaine coaching staff wants to talk about things, but ultimately what happened is that Bryant was able to get back safely to first, and then they threw back to third. So she dove back, and then they turn and fire to third base, and they caught Caitlin Way off of third for out number 2. What a throw there by Alexa Just. Just playing shortstop today, so that put out goes 6-5. What a bizarre play. Regardless, leaves the Bengals with 2 outs and a runner on first. And Annika Hendrickson still at the plate, turns and lays it down, but foul. Count is 1-2. As you see, this play just fires it across, and a great tag laid down. Certainly Blaine thought it was close, but ultimately the ump called her out. Popped up on the infield, and Craig camps under it for the third out. Centennial has some traffic on the bases, but manages to pitch around it. And we head to the third inning with the Cougars with a 4-0 lead.
When I was your age, I was just like you, fascinated by stars. But now I get to search for life in the universe. And who knows, maybe life is looking for us too.
So we're like aliens to them?
Yeah. Does anyone want to be a scientist now?
I do.
Awesome. We need more girls in STEM.
Maybe we can find aliens.
Touchdown! Oh, did you see that? Whoa, we scored? Yeah, we scored going to the playoffs. I can't believe I missed that. Every time I'm buzzed, I spend too much time on my phone. What? I should take your phone away. No. I'll call for a ride. Wait, why does my face look like that?
I'm playing with these new face filters.
Okay, you know what? Yep, that's mine.
I'm gonna need that back.
No.
Kevin!
Back here at Blaine High School, Bill Hupp and our entire crew. You can see a couple walks in the first inning really came back to bite Blaine. But they start the third inning after a clean second. And it'll be Maddie Ringen, the first baseman, who starts things. She popped out to the right fielder in the first inning. And she leads things off in the third, and she lifts it high, coming over to make the catch, and a nice play made by Caitlin Way in foul territory. So one pitch, one out here in the third inning as Maddie Ringen pops out to Way.
Now batting, pitcher number 21,
Right, just kind of shrugs. Battling the wind, just reached out and snagged it. Nice play. Brings up the pitcher, Helene Craig. Huge hit in the first as she takes a called strike on the outside corner. 2 out RBI single through the middle, drove into the first 2 Centennial runs. All 4 runs coming with 2 outs in the inning. She would later come around to score as well. She drives that to center field, and it is going to be caught, hauled in right at the fence. Nice play made by Jordan Peterson out there. Craig gave it a ride all the way out to the L, and Blaine in the fence, but tracked down by Peterson out in the outfield. First pitch swinging, and you can see she feels for the fence and hauls it in right in front of the A. Great angle here from our outfield camera. So quickly 2 out in the inning for Alexa Just, who walked in her first trip, and she's got a single as she wraps it out to Peterson in center field. So Just is aboard for the second time today, and that brings up 80 Thomas.
Number 32, Adriana Thomas.
Who had the other big hit in the inning, a 2-out 2 RBI single, as you see the single by Just. Solid past the second baseman. That one's fouled back from Thomas. She ended up being stranded at second in the first inning. 1 on and 2 out. Love to know what those wristbands say. Obviously full of signs, but looks very sophisticated. And she wraps one down the left field line. Just turns on the Jets and heads to third. Throw is high. So a big 2-out double for 80 Thomas. And now there's runners on second and third for the catcher, Emma Hopkins. She just turned on that one and smoked it into left field. Really barreled that one up. Good job by Bryant to get over and get it back in and have a play at third.
Now batting, catcher number 5, Emma Hopkins.
Emma Hopkins grounded out to second in her first plate appearance. 2 on and 2 out. Runners in scoring position once more for Centennial. That pitch is on the outside corner for a strike. Hopkins, as we said, 316 and 2 steals coming in. That throw is high, throw down to third. That pitch is high. Schoenrock trying to catch just wandering off third base. Hopkins wraps it on the ground to second base again. Easy play for Hendrickson, and the out is recorded. So a couple base hits, but both runners are left stranded. Head to the bottom of the third. Centennial still on top by 4.
North Metro TV News is your source for local stories. Highlighting the issues in your community, we bring you the news that's closer to home. Join us as we explore the stories all around us, every day at 2:30, 6:30, and 10:30.
Emmy Cochran, the pitcher for Blaine, to lead things off in this third inning for the Bengals. Her first plate appearance of the afternoon. She'll be followed by Allison Terry. 4 runs, 5 hits for the Cougars. No runs, 1 hit, and an error for Blaine. Bengals did manage to get a runner to third in the last inning, but ultimately she was caught off third, and a nice defensive play for Centennial to keep this game scoreless for them. As Helene Craig gets set to work her third inning.
Number 34, Emmy Cochran.
And Cochran has settled in nicely after giving up 4 runs in that first. She's proceeded to put goose eggs on the board in the next 2. Hopkins has that pop out of her mitt, so ball 1. Craig into her delivery, and the pitch bounced in there. Snagged by Hopkins. 2-0 the count on Emmy Cochran. Cochran laces it down to third base. Good pick, and the throw over in time by Fiddler to retire Cochran. Nice play despite the solid contact. 5-3 on the putout. And so the right fielder, Allison Terry, steps in. Wearing those cool looking shades as she misses on the bunt attempt. Standing in from the left side. Another lefty, and Jordan Peterson would follow if she will follow. Turns and lays this one down, fielded by the first baseman Ring, and her throw is late. So Terry gets aboard via a bunt single, and that will bring up Jordan Peterson. And it's a nice looking single too. Turns, just laid it down, good weight on the bunt. Ringen came off to field it. Not a bad play, throw was low and it evaded Haiti Thomas, but Peterson struck out swinging in her first at bat. Craig actually retired the first 2 Bengals of the game via the strikeout. Bounce to first, Ringen fields it. She won't be able to get to the bag in time, and there's 2 runners aboard for Blaine. Terry on second, Peterson on first. That'll bring up Allison Schoenrock. As she kind of faked the bunt and then sort of slapped it to first, and Ringen fielded it cleanly, but was not about to beat out the speedy Peterson as a strike is called on the inside corner. Hallie Schoenrock, a strikeout victim herself in her first at bat. Now she has 2 on with just 1 out. And Schoenrock hits it to left field, drifting back, and that's going to fall in there. It evaded Chiappetta. Run comes around to score. Sliding in. The throw actually beat Allison Terry, but she managed to slide under the tag. And so a nice RBI single for Schoenrock. Peterson stands at second, Schoenrock at first, and Blaine has its first run of the game. Kind of lofted it to left, and I'm not sure if the wind fooled Sid Chiappetta, but she could not field it. And then a field on the bounce and the throw home. Kind of arrived at the same time, actually, but Terry, with her speed, able to score from second. So that'll bring Rick Thomas out to the mound. Yeah, I'm not sure if he wants to do a double switch or what the deal is, but no announcement yet. Terry came in to score. Schoenrock with the RBI single. There's runners on first and second with only 1 out here. See Blaine coaching staff doing a little coaching too. First and third base coaches consulting for Blaine. And if Craig is a veteran pitcher, obviously bound for Augustin, just a junior, so she will theoretically pitch for Centennial next year.
Number 28.
Tough part of the batting order, though, as Maddie Bryant steps in. Bryant grounded out to the pitcher, I should say, in her first plate appearance. She takes a called strike. Maddie and Jade Bryant, unrelated Bryants. She's 3, 4, 5 hitters coming up next, though, for Blaine, as that is taken a bit high. Caitlin Way to follow. Craig's 1-1, swung on and missed. Inside pitch kind of tied up Jade Bryant, or rather Maddie Bryant. That pitch back up the box, good play by Craig to field. It goes to third for 1, over to first for a double play. What a play there. Maddie Bryant thrown out as that went 1 to retire the side. Yeah, 1 to 5 to 3 on the double play to end the inning for Centennial. Great fielding by Craig. Over to third, fired over to first, and Maddie Bryant thought she had beat it, but the umpire viewed it differently, and that double play ends the inning. To the 4th inning we go. Centennial still in control here in Blaine.
What? Yep, that's mine. I'm gonna need that back. No. Kevin!
Three hits in the inning for Blaine in that last frame, but they were able to get across a run, but what could have been a more promising inning was ended when Craig fielded her position well and started a 1-5-3 double play to end the inning and end the threat. And so Centennial has a 4-1 lead here as we start the 4th inning, and that one's fouled in back into the catcher Schoenrock. The leadoff hitter, Sid Chiappetta, leading off for the 3rd inning. Led off the 1st, the 2nd, and now the 4th. She has grounded out twice, once to the second baseman and once to the shortstop. This time she fouls it off to our right, into the trees, again threatening our truck. And it hit us again, in fact. We're a little blocked here in the press box, but apparently that went off the tree and into the truck. So our truck's in a precarious position. Seems to still be functioning, though, as that one's fouled back. Chiappetta still finds herself down in the count, 0-2. And McCochran, as we said, has put up a couple scoreless innings in the second and third. Still hasn't recorded a strikeout, though, this afternoon, as that one's taken for a ball. It'll be Chiappetta, Ruberg, and Losi, the top three in the order for Centennial. The pitch. That one high. Good eye by Chiappetta. Two and two the count. And that one's lifted. Coming in, going out, and now it'll be camped under and put away by Studer. Both the left fielder and the center fielder came in to make the play, but then it kind of was blown back toward the infield, and Studer recorded it. So Chiappetta 0 for 3 today as that was popped out to short. Bryn Ruberg, the designated player, has reached once and scored today. Officially 0 for 1, though, after she grounded out to short in her last plate appearance. As we said, Studer's been very active today. One of the best defensive players for the Bengals. That one is turned on and hammered toward the football stadium down the left field line. In fact, onto the football field. One and one the count with one out. That one taken wide. The 2-1. Off the inside of the bat, fielded at third, over to first. A nice play by Bryant. She was playing a little bit in, so she got to it quickly on that hard hit ball. And it was an easy put out for Jade Bryant. That'll bring up Abby Losi, who stole second, but was stranded in the second. Also reached on an error and scored in the first, so she has reached base twice today. Playing center field this afternoon for Centennial. The 1-0, and she swings at a high strike to even the count at 1 apiece. Slightly open stance from the right side, crouched stance. And she hacks that foul, no doubt, toward our truck. It'll hit our truck probably, and it did. So she's behind in the count 1-2. Cochran would love a 1-2-3 inning. Wrapped on the ground to short. Studer up with it, over to first to retire the side in order. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. To the bottom of the fourth we go. Still 4-1 Centennial. Bottom of the fourth, we'll see the 4, 5, 6 hitters in the Blaine Bengals order go to the plate. Helene Craig improving on that 1.40 ERA. As, she's been pretty solid. 3 strikeouts on the afternoon, no walks. She has given up 4 singles in the last 2 innings, but has managed to pitch around that and only give up just a run. Caitlin Way was the first to reach via a single when she led off the second, but ultimately she was thrown out 6-5 on the putout after she got caught wandering off third thinking about trying to score. It'll be Way, Studer, and Bryant in this inning for Blaine.
Leading off the bottom of the fourth for the Bengals.
It's starting to get late.
Number 11, Caitlin Way.
All white catching gear, as you see, for Hopkins. And it's waved at by Caitlin Way on the first pitch. The 0-1. Taken a little bit low off the outside corner. Centennial, very Oklahoma-looking uniforms with that Centennial script across the front. The 1-1 delivery. Again, she swings over it to fall behind 1-2. Craig Roxon fires. It's tapped right back to her. Fields it cleanly over to Ringen for out number 1. Tell you what, Craig has done a terrific job fielding her position today, including starting that 1-5-3 double play to end the 3rd inning. Haley Studer steps in. She popped out to the 3rd base. And then in the 1st inning, and she lines out to the center fielder, Losi, right there. Kind of a sinking line drive that Losi came in and snared.
Third baseman, number 7.
Craig would love a clean 1-2-3. She did that in the 1st. And as you see, Losi coming in and making a nice play. And Jade Bryant at the plate. Takes a called strike. Craig Roxon fires and misses outside. Bryant playing 3rd base today. Swings through that one, quickly falls behind 1-2. If she can reach, Annika Hendrickson would be next. She pops that one up. Thomas comes back, puts the leather on it, nearly drops it, but manages to hang on, and the side is retired in order. No runs, no hits, nobody left on base. We head to the 5th inning. Centennial in control of this one, 4-1 here on North Metro TV.
Elmo.
Ella Fiddler on the first pitch bounces to short. Studer over to first for the first out of the 5th inning. Fiddler grounding out 6-3. Maddie Ringen will be the next batter in the 3rd inning. She has popped out twice to the right fielder and to the first baseman. And that pitch way high. And McCochran gave up 4 in the 1st, but has put up goose eggs for Blaine ever since. But her offense has been shut down by Helene Craig this afternoon. The 1-0 pitch, taken in on the inside corner at the knees for a strike. The 1-1 pitch to Ringen, and she ropes that into the gap in left center field. She'll turn, and getting it in quickly is Maddie Bryant to hold her to a long single. She barreled that up nicely, though, for her first base knock. As you can see, went down and got it. And well read by Bryant to get over and cut it off and hold her to 1 base. Brings up the pitcher, Helene Craig. And Craig turns on the first pitch and smashes it to the football field to our left. Craig flew out to the center fielder in her last at-bat. She's 1 for 2, drove in the first 2 runs of the game with a clutch single to center field in her first at-bat. 1 on, 1 out, top of the 5th. The pitch taken outside for a ball. And the way she's rolling, wouldn't be surprised to see her finish the game in the circle. Open stance from the right side. Roxon fires, and it's hit on the ground into center field for a base hit. So the second base knock of the day for Craig. Past a diving Studer and into center field again. Nothing simple or nothing complex. Just trying to keep it simple as that one past the pitcher and then past the shortstop who was shading to third base. Alexa Just now up. She's reached twice today via the walk and a single. She stranded both times, however, at third. Runners at first and second, 1 out in the top of the 5th. Cochran's pitch bounces past Shane Rock and allows the runners to move up to second and third. So now Just has runners in scoring position. As that one just bounced in there on the inside corner, and Shane Rock tried to block it, but got past her. 1-0 the count. Cochran fires, and a high strike fanned at by Just. A.D. Thomas, who has a single and a double this afternoon, will bat next for Centennial. Terrific production from the bottom of the order as Just has reached twice from the 7th spot. And Thomas has 2 hits and a couple RBIs from the 8th. And that's something that you really need from a team that's second in state, as that one fouled back to the screen. A team that's 10-0 in conference play and 13-1 overall. That one's taken wide to even the count at 2 apiece. Pitch is lofted to the right side. Right fielder and first baseman give a look and watch it bounce out of play. Now that is a goatee. Or a beard. That's just a beard that's been expertly braided. ZZ Top watching our game today. The 2-2. Swung on and missed. A huge strikeout. Throw down to third, not in time, but a big strikeout. A great time for Emma Cochran to pick up her first K of the day as she sends Alexa Just down on strikes. For the second out of the inning, brings up A.D. Thomas. 2 RBI single in the first inning and doubled and was stranded at second in the 4th. That high strike and Just knew it. The grimace said it all. Cochran's pitch misses high. Counts 1-0, runners at second and third for Centennial, trying to add to this 3-run lead they have. Slightly open stance for Thomas. She takes a called strike. And Cochran, you can see just the confidence growing as she continues to work through innings, scoreless innings. Thomas fouls it off down the right side. Rick Thomas's daughter, that one kind of fired at the with the bare hand too. Not like she had a glove on or anything, as that's lined toward her dugout. Everyone, of course, well protected by the chain link fence. Big spot here for A.D. Thomas. The 1-2. Inside corner, called strike 3. So 2 big strikeouts to end the inning and end the threat. Couple hits for Centennial, couple runners left on base, but no runs. As you see Cochran racking up the strikeout on the inside corner. So, crisis averted, and we head to the bottom of the 5th inning, still 4-1 Centennial.
When you look at the number of disasters in the U.S., chances are every area will deal with some kind of emergency in the next decade. And between school, sports, and social lives, chances are you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
Hey world, I have a quick message. It's about safe driving. All right, let's go. Anytime you're driving, have the seatbelt buckled tight. Both hands on the wheel and your phone out of sight. When not in your hand trying to text somebody back. Because if you do, your car might get smacked. The moral of the story, just put your phone down. The people on the road will stay safe and sound. Put your phone down, put your phone down. People on the road will stay safe and sound. Yeah.
Back here at Blaine High School, 7, 8, and 9 in the order for the Bengals, who need runs. They trail 4-1. They've got 4 singles today to show for their afternoon. It'll be Annika Hendrickson to lead things off. She popped out to the pitcher, Helene Craig. Bound for Augustana in South Dakota, D2 softball powerhouse, and she pumps a strike over the inside corner to start out Hendrickson's at bat. Craig recorded 2 strikeouts in the first. She struck out, in fact, 3 of the first 5 hitters she faced. She hasn't had one since, but her defense has been very solid behind her as the count runs to 1-1. And the wind has seemingly died down as well. It's actually a pretty comfortable afternoon. No sunshine, very overcast. As that is lined down the third base line, past third base, but foul. Count is 1-2, and sometimes that is the best strategy. You don't have to be a huge strikeout pitcher, but just trust that your defense behind you can make plays, and certainly Centennial is a very senior stocked lineup as that one's fouled off to the right this time. Again, threatening our truck. Not just threatening, actually hitting our truck. Craig consults the armband and goes to work with the 1-2. It was taken outside by Hendrickson. Hendrickson's been pretty busy at second base today. We just cannot catch a break with our truck. We'll know not to park there next time. Craig's pitch is fanned at by Hendrickson, and just as I talk about how she hasn't really struck many batters out, she starts out the 5th inning with a K. That rise ball, Hendrickson just could not catch up with it on the outside corner. We'll bring up the pitcher, Emmy Cochran. Hit a hard ground ball, but handled comfortably in the 3rd inning, her first plate appearance. Grounded out 5-3 as she looks at a strike to start things. See Craig doing some maintenance out there after a lot of that kind of stepping hole has been filled in. 2 just big craters in the circle as that one's fouled off to the right. Behind our truck this time. I think we'll have enough balls to start a softball team if we kept everyone that hit our truck this afternoon. 1-2 the count on Cochran. And that one's bounced in to even us at 2. Right fielder Allison Terry would be next. Craig Roxon fires, and that is a strike 3. On the drop third strike, they throw down to first to retire Cochran. So 2 consecutive Ks. Good way to start the 5th inning for Helene Craig. Bottom of the order in Allison Terry stepping in from the left side. Still rocking those stylish shades. She got aboard in her first, and she actually scored the only run in her first plate appearance. A bunt single, and then came around to score on Allie Shanerock's base hit. Maybe going small ball, maybe the best course of action for Blaine against a pitcher like Craig. She turns and bunts again to Ringen over to first. High throw, and what a play made by Thomas to haul it in. And so Blaine goes 1, 2, 3 in order. That put out 3, 4. No runs, no hits, nobody left on base. To the 6th we go here on North Metro TV.
By thescan.org.
Catcher number 5, Emma Hopkins.
Emma Hopkins leads off the top of the 6th for Centennial. Hopkins is grounded out twice to Hendrickson at second base. Annika Hendrickson, middle of the infield in general between Hendrickson and Studer, has been very busy this afternoon for Blaine. Hopkins ended the first and the third as she takes a called strike. Sid Chiappetta waiting on deck. Count 1-1, the pitch by Cochran taken wide. Great chatter from both dugouts all afternoon. Good block by Shanerock. She has done fantastic work behind the dish. Counts 3-1. Certainly Cochran does not want to put the lead runner on board, but she does with a walk. First time on base today for Emma Hopkins. We'll see if she gets a pinch runner now as the catcher, or if she decides to run.
Right fielder number 16.
Chiappetta stands in now. Cochran with 2 big strikeouts to end the 5th inning. After giving up a couple singles, Chiappetta bunts, and it goes foul. She's 0 for 3 today. Grounded out twice and popped out to the shortstop Studer in her last plate appearance. 4-1 Centennial here in the top of the 6th. Cochran's pitch again turned bunt and again foul, so Chiappetta down in the count now 0-2, trying to move that runner into scoring position. Centennial made the state tournament in 2019. Obviously last year was victim of the pandemic, and this year we'll see where they go, but they're off to a terrific start at 13-1. The 1-2, strong on and missed, and another strikeout for Cochran after not striking out anybody through the first 4 1/3. She's recorded her last 3 outs via the strikeout. Dialing up the rise ball on the inside corner right there. Bryn Ruberg stands in. She's walked, scored, and also grounded out twice today. She takes a called strike. Emma Hopkins stands on first after walking to start the 6th. Cochran rocks and fires, high pitch, and it's popped up. Shane Rock gives it a look, but it goes beyond the fence. Everyone seems to be okay down there. Ruberg down in the count, though, 0-2. The pitch called, strike 3 on the outside corner. And Cochran has struck out 4 of the last 5 Cougar hitters she's faced. And that one, I think, was just framed really nicely by Allie Shanerock. Just kind of pulled it back over that outside corner as Abby Losey fouls that one back. Losey is reached twice today, 1 for 2. A stolen base, a run. Grounded out to Studer in her last plate appearance. Emma Hopkins still stands at first base as that pitch is high and wide. And Cochran had struck out the last 2 hitters of the 5th and 2 of the first 3 batters she's faced here in the 6th. She rocks and fires the 1-1, and it's lofted to right field. Going back on it and collecting it is Terry to retire the side. So Cochran pitches around the leadoff walk, and we head to the bottom of the 6th inning. Blaine needs some runs. They trail 4-1.
When I was 10, my mom got deported. We had a difficult time, and I feel that's why I didn't get to finish school. My husband is really supportive in a way that he pushed me to go back to school.
She wants to have a career so her kids can look up to her.
They both keep me motivated to go to school, and they see that if I do it, like, they can do it too, you know? I feel that everything's possible.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Top of the order here to start the 6th inning for Blaine as Centennial continues to work on their undefeated Northwest Suburban Conference record, hoping to move to 11-0 on the season. We'll send Helene Craig back out there. It'll be Peterson, Shanerock, and Bryant, the top of the order for Blaine here in this top of the 6th. They got 2 at-bats left to make up this 3-run deficit as the rain starts to fall here in Blaine. Craig has recorded 5 strikeouts on the afternoon. And Peterson was one of those strikeout victims in the first. She also singled in the 3rd, but was left stranded at second base. And in fact, Craig has set down the last 7 Bengals as Peterson squares to bunt and then pulls it back. Peterson and Shanerock singled to lead off the 3rd, and then, or singled in the 3rd, I should say, and then a 1-5-3 double play ended the inning, and Craig has set down the Bengals in order in the 4th and 5th. Peterson, 27 stolen bases on the season. The state leader in that category. Has only been caught once this year. She takes the ball outside. Knows how to get on base, and once she does, she knows how to move up. No steal today, but 20 of 7 of 28, so it's almost automatic. Next, second place in the state has 24 steals, so certainly the prototypical leadoff hitter as she takes a called strike. Certainly someone you want to keep off the base paths if you're Centennial. The 3-1. And that's taken at the knees. I think Peterson thought that was ball 4. So she comes back to get her bat. As the count is run full. And indeed, that one did look a little low. Hopkins snaring it literally out of the dirt. Some dirt kicked up by her glove anyway. The 3-2 pitch is high, and this time Peterson does reach with a walk. So Jordan Peterson, the speedy center fielder for Blaine, starts the 6th inning with a walk. Now certainly Hopkins will be wary of her, and especially down 3 runs. Have to imagine she'll try to swipe at least second. Allie Shanerock has a strikeout and a single. An RBI single at that. She drove in the lone Blaine run this afternoon. Shanerock 1 for 2 today. Wide open stance from the right side. Runners going, it's hit to right field, coming over into foul territory and hauling it in. Making a nice play over there is Chiappetta. So Sid Chiappetta comes over, catches it in foul territory as you see her drift over and under it. And did not move the runner up as Peterson was going on the hit and run, but that was a fly out to the right fielder. So Maddie Bryant now stands in. She has hit out to the pitcher twice. Once resulted in a 1-5-3 double play. So she's had some sharp contact, but not a lot of luck this afternoon. 1 on, 1 out, 1-0 the count. Greg Roxon fires, it's low, and another stolen base for Jordan Peterson. 28 now for the season, 28 of 29, unbelievable. As you can see the jump she got, such speed too. Would take a magnificent throw to even have a shot at getting her. Now we'll see if she wants to steal third. A little more challenging with the right-handed hitter in the box. As she takes a called strike on the inside corner, 2-1 the count. The pitch over to the right side. Thomas up with it quickly over to Ringen, but job done, moves the runner over to third. So Peterson now stands at third after that ground out to second baseman A.D. Thomas. And that'll bring up the cleanup hitter, Caitlin Way. Way was the single in the second and then grounded out to the pitcher to lead off the fourth, 1-3. Craig pitches, and Way swings over that one. 2 out. Jordan Peterson standing at third. Like Cochran just did, Craig trying to pitch around a leadoff walk. That rise ball too high. The pitch, Way fouls it on back. We're in the bottom of the 6th. Blaine needing to get in Jordan Peterson from third. Swung on and missed, and the side is retired. So Craig pitches around a leadoff walk. We head to the 7th, Cougars with a 4-1 lead. for freshman Emma Cochran, who retires Ella Fiddler on a pop out to the shortstop, Studer. And other than giving up a 4 spot in the first after an error, Cochran has battled with the number 2 team in state as she pumps over a strike to Maddie Ringen. Ringen singled in her last plate appearance, popped out twice before that. 1 for 3 today. Takes a called strike on the outside corner. You can see Shane Rock kind of saying, yeah, that's exactly what you want to do. 4 spot in the first, and then 5 consecutive scoreless innings as Ringen pops it down the right field line, and foul. Watch out. Hopefully that didn't ruin that guy's phone. You have to protect your phone. There seems to be almost more fans in the grass than in the stands, but it's a good crowd regardless. Think of your phone, man. Cochran with 4 strikeouts, 2 strikeouts in each of the last couple innings. She pops that one again down the right field line, and again, Terry gives chase. The broken phone. It's a 21st century nightmare if I've ever heard of one. Ringen down in the count, 0-2. Cochran trying to really finish strong in this one. The 0-2 pitch. That's taken low at the knees. Seen that call to strike earlier today. Helene Craig to follow. Cochran rocks and fires, and it's wrapped on the ground to short. Oh, just over the reach of Studer. Kind of a bad bounce on this infield. And so a single for Maddie Ringen. 2 straight singles. She's 2 for 4 today. Solid contact. Certainly barreled that up. Studer looked to be in good position, but kind of came over and took a bad bounce and hopped over her glove. No official score here, but we're going to give that a single. As Craig stands in and takes the first pitch high. You said Helene Craig, we've talked about her pitching numbers, but it's almost just as good at the plate. .520 average coming in, 2 homers and 13 RBIs. Several Cougars with a couple home runs this year. The pitch, line to short, snagged by Studer, back to first, and she can't turn the double play, but boy, it was close. Outstanding defensive play made by Haley Studer. One batter after the ground ball had hopped over her mitt. She snagged that line drive to rob Craig of a base hit. Now the the umpires consulting with each other. Not sure what about. I don't know if they thought maybe that had been a double play. Alexa Jest would be the next hitter. As that liner, good reaction from Stuber at full stretch, and then turned and bounced it in. And no replay, obviously, but that was close.
Number 6.
Oof, very close. Too close to call, certainly. But that brings up Alexa Just. She's 1 for 2 today, walked and singled, and then struck out in her last plate appearance. She takes the first pitch wide. In case you're just joining us, Centennial with a couple of 2-out, 2 RBI singles in the first inning, and that has stood up behind the pitching of Helene Craig. Craig, the 2-0, taken high to 3-0. Craig rocks and fires. Strike on the inside corner framed nicely by Shane Rock. The 3-1. Strike again on the inside corner. That's really been her spot all day. Counts full on Alexa Just. The pitch taken low, and so Just reaches with a walk. Rain starting to fall a little heavier here as the winds picks up. Eddie Ringen standing at second base for Adie Thomas. Single in the first, double in the second, struck out looking in the fourth. She dumps it into center field, and they'll hold the runner at third for bases loaded. Shane Rock fires to second, and Just is back in time, but a solid single on the first pitch by Thomas to load the bases here in the seventh.
Catcher number 5, Emma.
Right on the outside corner, just dumped it into right center field. So Adie Thomas, the sophomore, showing her stuff as that throw home was piked in nicely by Peterson in center field to keep this a 3-run game. A pitch taken a little bit high on the catcher, Emma Hopkins. She walked in her last plate appearance in the 6th. Before that, grounded out twice to the second baseman, Hendrickson. Bases loaded, 2 on, top of the 7th. That pitch is low, good block by Shane Rock. A certain knowledgeable broadcaster was complimenting her defensive work in between innings. And she put it on full display right there to prevent the ball from going to the backstop. The pitch taken for a strike. Chiappetta would be next. Cochran rocks and fires, and it's floated out to right field. Terry camped under it, squeezes it for the third and final out. A single, couple singles, a walk, and the bases left loaded here in the top of the 7th. Last at bats for Blaine coming up. They trail 4-1. Rick Thomas looks on for Centennial as his Cougars go to work. And Haley Studer, the first batter for Blaine, takes the first pitch low. Aileen Craig looking to put the finishing touches on a complete game effort, trying to keep Centennial undefeated in Northwest Suburban Conference play. Pumps in a strike to even the count at 1 apiece. It'll be Haley Studer, Jade Bryant, and Annika Hendrickson for Blaine here in the bottom of the 7th. Craig rocks and fires, and it is lofted foul, hooked into the football field. Studer today has popped out to the first baseman and lined out to the right fielder, Chiappetta. A pitch taken wide. Count even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. The pitch fouled on back. Craig has scattered 4 hits on the afternoon and given up just that lone run. Turned a huge double play to end the 3rd inning. And has kept Blaine at bay ever since. Recorded 5 strikeouts as well. The 2-2. Strike 3 called on the outside corner. Second consecutive hitter down on strikes for Blaine. As that framed nicely by Hopkins.
Number 7, Jade Bryant.
And Jade Bryant comes to the plate now. She struck out as well, and she'll bounce it to short, or to second rather. Thomas over to Ringen, and 1 pitch to record the second out, 4-3. So Blaine now down to their final out Monica Hendrickson will have to keep things alive. She popped out to the pitcher in her first plate appearance and then struck out to lead off the 5th inning. And she ropes it into left field, and it is dropped by the third baseman. So Hendrickson will reach E5. And Hendrickson is aboard, keeping the game and the inning alive for Cochran. And yeah, just misplayed by Fiddler. Kind of tough play to go back on it, but first pitch taken wide. Emmy Cochran struck out looking in the 5th. Hit a sharp grounder to third in the 3rd. So 0 for 2 today for Cochran. Did a super nice job, very, very nice job in the circle for Blaine. Shut down the Cougars 6 of the 7 innings after giving up 4 in the 1st. Fouls that one off Hopkins. 2-1 the count. Hendrickson off first. You see that one right off the catcher's mask. Hopkins appears to be okay. The pitch. Fouled off again to the right side to even the count at 2. Craig Roxon fires, swung on and missed, and that ends the game. Cochran goes down on strikes, and that's the finishing touches on a 7-strikeout, 1-run performance. As you see the totals there, Centennial scores 4 in the 1st, and that's all they would need. As Cochran reached back for a little extra and blew it, or rather Craig blew it by Cochran. Struck out 2, the last 2 hitters in the inning to retire the side, and Centennial stays unbeaten in conference play in the Northwest Suburban Conference. They move to 11-0 and 14-1 overall for the number 2 ranked Cougars. Blaine, meanwhile, falls to 8-7 and 6-5 in conference play. I want to thank Director Kenton Kipp and our entire crew. For North Metro TV, I'm Bill Hupp saying good evening from Blaine High School. Centennial plates 4 in the 1st, and that would hold up as they go on for a 4-1 victory here this afternoon at Blaine. You've been watching this presentation of high school sports on North Metro TV.